A wizard is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to, is what Gandalf would say. To that I say, bollocks. 2 years for a highly anticipated figure. That's a lot of waiting, as it takes a toll on someone's mental health. Was he worth the wait? Well, before we get to that, please spare me a moment of your time and let me take you on a small journey on Gandalf the Grey's humble beginnings. Our journey begins in a place called Asmus Toys, located in the Far East on the island of Asmus Taiwaneth, where you can find a delightful selection of 6-scale figures ranging from The Hobbit, my personal favorite Devil May Cry, and their flagship series, Lord of the Rings. Asmus Toys has been producing figures for many years now, and with every new release, you see minor improvements in terms of quality. But every now and then, they release a figure that sets new standards for the company with regards to head sculpt and paint application. And what does that mean for us? Well, it means that we get a figure that features a portrait that more closely resembles the actor portraying the character. And that's always a plus in my book. No matter how much I want to complete a collection, if the figure's portrait does not look like the actor portraying the character, I just don't buy it. I will admit, it pains me to see an incomplete fellowship, but there is one character that could pull it all together. And after a long 2-year journey from Taiwaneth to Brooklynton, Gandalf the Grey, the Crown series has finally arrived at my doorstep. And what is the Crown series? Well, it's a new line of figures that's going to incorporate new techniques and features that weren't available in previous releases. New features such as movable eyes and hair. And I'm not talking about the rooted hair that you would find on a Barbie doll. I'm talking about a painstaking application process that involves glue, sharp eyes, and yak hair. And the end result speaks for itself. You end up with a product that has a level of realism that you don't see often in mass-produced 6-scale figures. Throughout this review, you're going to see a lack of dynamic poses, which is something I normally do with all of my reviews. But due to the fact that he's not a magic ninja or a robot samurai, there's no point for me to put him in a 3-point landing pose. Besides, I don't have any orc for him to face off against where he could twirl his staff like a Shaolin monk. I dare you, Asmus Toys, to make a 6-scale Balrog. I dare you. I decided to remove the flap that was glued to the bottom of his wizard's cap, because initially it just did not sit all that low. It just looked goofy, and it still doesn't sit as low as I'd like, but it's way better than before. I understand why it was designed with that flap on the bottom. It's so you don't damage the hair. I get it. I just wish Asmus Toys had a better solution than what they had before. I do love this figure, but it's not without its flaws. Gandalf is the toughest figure I've filmed thus far, and it's all because of the eyes. I love movable eyes. It adds an extra dimension to figures of this scale. But when it's not properly implemented, you run the risk of having the eyeballs not completely flush with the flesh around the eyes, resulting in a figure that looks like it's wearing eyeliner. Having spent a considerable amount of time with Gandalf, I can say that it's not that severe with him. However, you need to light it in a very specific way. With the extra shininess of his eyeballs, If you shine a light directly in front of Gandalf, the reflection is so strong that you lose his eyes. I wasn't exaggerating when I said that Gandalf is the toughest figure I've filmed so far. This segment here is basically me just shining the light at Gandalf from all different angles. I encourage my fellow collectors that have this figure to just experiment with different lighting setups. I feel that Gandalf looks the best when there's just enough light to show the whites of his eyes, but there's no reflection. Like that. The thing with this figure is, you need to put in work to make it look good. Every time you move it or pose it, you have to adjust the hair, which is one of the reasons why I did not pose with him all too much. And you have to light it in a very, very specific way, otherwise you're going to get black-eyed Gandalf. And the other flaw that prevents this figure from being flawless is that his eyes are not symmetrical. It's not completely distracting. I mean, there are times when Ian McKellen, when he would do something like "fool of a took," that big eye, small eye glare, it is within character. When you compare it to pictures of the prototype, you'll see that both of his eyes are symmetrical, where they have that obtuse triangular shape. His left eye survived the molding process, where it retains that obtuse triangular shape. His right eye, on the other hand, I don't know what happened with it. Fortunately, it does not dramatically alter his face. But still, I wish that the QC was tighter on that aspect. The choice is yours whether you want to pick this up or not. I'm happy that I own it. It's an amazing product, but it could have been flawless. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you soon.